Welcome back to the Titanium Hater. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for July 10th, 2022. Now, we do have a lot of stuff going on. We did have TFCon Toronto, the third-party panel. It's a little lackluster, but there's still a lot to go through. We have a couple of Tmnt things to talk about today, whether it's NECA or Super 7. There is some stuff to talk about when it comes to G.I. Joe Classified, of course. More solid updates on the ramen toy. Several things going on there. And lots of pictures from excited collectors finally getting this Boba Fett figure. We're going to talk about some Star Wars stuff. This and more coming up. Alright, some cool stuff at shows. We got the Dr. Wu, a DWP-51 Chatterbox pre-order, $25. This is the little microscopic one, and it's $1 down, 3.15 inches tall combined. And as predicted last week, there is going to be a KO version, the fourth party, the TW04 accessory pack for the MP52 Starscream. This is the coronation set. It's going to come with a throne, the shoulder pads, the crown, the cape, and a couple of other parts for it for $30. So they're $32 more or less, and pretty awesome. There's some connector pieces in here that's not shown also, but pretty good deal, I think. We also have a incoming fourth party MP39 Sunstreaker. So this is a KO Sunstreaker back again, $55. So I'm going to try to run through a couple of MP items, then go through all of the third party panel, and that kind of includes what's going on with Legends this week. But this one is the TFCon Toronto exclusive Mastermind Creations reformatted R48SG Optimus Promenade. So looks pretty cool. I do like the use of soft goods in this. Here's the alt mode, just a recoloration of something we've already seen. Still looks pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Let's move to the next one. These are official pictures of the MP48 Dark Amber Leo Prime. This is a recolor of the Leo Prime they already made, and I understand that was a pretty cool mold. It's something more of Japanese content that I don't know, so I really I'm not familiar with it. So it looks cool. Different recolors, very monochromatic for the most part. A couple of small paint accents here and there on the eyes and the toes, and that kind of stuff right there. But still, pretty cool, pretty interesting overall. If you're into this kind of thing, it's going to be coming pretty soon. I guess pretty soon is January of 2023 for approximately $162. Alright, so this is the Make Toys Iron Swarm, the EX02. This is a recolor, and I really don't know much about this coloration of a Seeker, so pretty cool. It's I believe this is a TFCon Toronto exclusive, and sort of hosted by TF Source. I did get this picture from TF Source in an email, so that's where I found out about it, and I was kind of confused. I thought we were going to see the Yellow Rainmaker. I think that's being held for maybe down the road for another TFCon or something like that. But anyway, still pretty cool. You might want to check it out. It should be up for pre-order at TF Source, maybe other places here in a few months. I haven't checked the pre-order. It might be up for pre-order now and available in a few months. Now, I think this is really cool right here. This is starting the TFCon third-party presentation, which was a little lackluster because we've seen most of it. But there's still some really cool things like this here, which is the 01 Studio 01S02 Seed. This is a Cybertron. This is along the same lines, the same vein as their Unicron. Now that Unicron has Zeta involved in it some way, shape, or form, whether it was a design that they sold or they're still involved in production, but still really cool. I did like their Unicron, the way it looked. It looks great. This thing, same way. Bet you they still utilize a lot of the same techniques where it's more or less the same, like split in half, the same bot split in half. As you can see front and back, it does appear to be the same exact bot front and back, more or less. So, hey, whatever works, and that worked for them with the Unicron's gonna work with this one. I think this looks great. I have never seen a Cybertron that is made to this scale and to this level of detail. So we've got this New Age. Now I'm going to be bouncing around between Legends and Masterpiece in this segment, just because it's kind of what's in order here. This is the New Age H35C Cyclops, and this looks pretty good overall. I was thinking this, when I first saw it, I was like, ooh, Magic Square with good paint, but it is the New Age version. It still looks great, though, overall. This is a different paint scheme than they've done before. in the past. Here it is in the gun mode. Looks great. Looks almost like a lavender in a way. Looks about like almost exactly the same color as the one that Takara did. So I'm looking at Takara, looking at this. They seem to be matching color-wise. But what really shocked me was this RC they're making. Machinimish Minch. I don't know. I said it wrong. Machine Rich. Anyway, this looks really good. The bot mode looks amazing. I think they did a really good job right here. I'm really happy with it. We do have another one that's coming from another company that should be coming up pretty soon. And here's another pose for her. They have a ton of pictures of her. It's funny how they only had 2 pictures of the Shockwave, maybe 3, but then they have like 8 of her. But I'm not going to show them all. Just kind of showing some articulation of what she can do. But man, it looks really great for a Legends shelf. Here she is in another pose, just kind of chilling. And then the alt mode. Okay, so we're going to talk about this alt mode. I don't think it's great, but it's not the end of the world alt mode. It's just not great. You can see is that her feet that are just kind of piled up there? Anyway, however they achieved it, they still have a great looking bot mode, and I'm fine with that. So mine would be in bot mode all the time anyway. And since there are other options, it might be nice to have one in bot, and then the best alt mode stay in alt mode. And every single RC, you gotta see the backpack. See, the backpack's always a problem with this character, and I think they did a pretty good job on her backpack. Here we are with Fans Hobbies, the MB19 Double Agent, and this is Double Dealer. Now, I don't think we've seen the colors renders. I don't know if this is renders or actual prototypes, but digital coloring effect. So this is not exactly it just yet. But hey, it looks pretty good. The colors make it pop a little bit more. Here it is in the alt mode, and that works also. So just kind of very reminiscent of what you'd expect. And we've kind of seen a lot of this already. It's not like it's new, so we won't spend too much time on it, but here we go with some wings, and you can see the front and the back and all that kind of stuff. So that looks pretty cool there too. Double Agent. And here's the bird mode. So triple changer and all this kind of stuff. Now, I never had this back in the day as a kid. I don't have a G1. So it'd be kind of cool to get these. We did make one in the Hasbro made, a pretty cool one, but this is third party. This is Masterpiece scale, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So the next project here, the MB24, this is really a cool one too, and a lot of people looking forward to this. And so this is the first jet development and in progress coming for 2023. That shows both of the jets, and they do combine. We'll see that here in just a second. So looking pretty good. It seems like one of them is a little further along than the other one. Of course, obviously they're going to release one then the other, and then of course you'll be able to combine them when you get them. Here is the combination of the two when they're combined together. And that's one of those things, like I remember I really was first introduced to this character in the Titan Returns line, and I thought it was really cool in Titan Returns line. So, of course, the Masterpiece scale, it's cool to get these obscure characters, and that's what Fans Hobby's doing. Getting into Planet X, this is Summonus, and looks pretty cool here. And, you know, it's kind of interesting because there's going to be some different color variations of other ones here coming up, but here it is with this PX04 alt mode, and you know, they've got their own stylized take on these dinos, so that works there too. And it does look pretty cool. Looks like it's got flames coming out of its back. Now, here's a red one. You get the silver one, you get the dino one, you get the red one, and then of course you get the green one, and of course that's G2. And we got all the different holiday colors for Christmas come for G2 when it comes to the Dinobots, and so that looks pretty cool too. Here is the bot mode for the green one, and yeah, a lot of fun. So you got a lot of options right there if you're interested in these. Got Planet X CO3 Nemios, and so I didn't really know they were working on this. I guess I missed this, or maybe I even posted it and forgot that it was something that's going on. But so anyway, looks like they're making their own Victory Leo and Star Saber and all that kind of stuff going on. So pretty cool. I mean, let me guess. If their Star Saber's already out and we're getting their Victory Leo, that's probably what's going on right here. So this thing, that looks pretty cool, and it's a bit of a stylized take, which is what Planet X does, and which is what attracts people to Planet X, because it's going to be different than all the other ones. And again, with this character, for me personally, because I don't have a direct tie to it from back in the day, in my mind, it could be whatever they want it to be, because as long as it looks cool, I'm down with it. I'm happy with it. So I actually kind of want the bigger is better, though, the biggest one that they make. Here is the combination of them in the jet mode, which is kind of a cool thing going on right there. Obviously, you got to combine all the parts in all the modes, and then here we go with next to the Star Saber. So looking great right there. Now I didn't see this connected to the Star Saber. Maybe I missed that picture. All right, I had to go back and find that picture. There it is, connected, and that's what it's going to look like, all connected. Which you call it Victory Leo. I mean, there's that one that's going on right now in the Chug scale, and it is a HasLab, and then of course there's this one, and then of course there's the Starblade version and all that going on, and more of these. Still a really cool character. This is a nice looking set. So getting into the Fans Toy section here, which I'm going to admit, okay, it's lackluster, but it's still cool to see these pictures. We've seen all this, but we're going to move through it pretty quick. Parkour, and this is a proper parkour, and it looks good. Just really, really does look good, and so I'm impressed with it. I like it. Good job. Here is the alt mode, and it looks very G1, and it's not real world car. It is G1 tune. I like that. That's my preference. A lot of people want a real world car. Go get you an X Transmonster and MMC one, right? And I really wasn't sure why these pictures were floating around this week, and I guess now it kind of makes sense, but there was a picture of parkour. Somebody had their hand, and somebody else did a recolor Digibash of it into a Bumblebee, so that looks really cool. So I guess that's what we can expect from Fans Toys Bumblebee, right? Great job, whoever this Easter Burn did this Digibash. That's a lot of fun. Here's a picture of parkour with a couple of his buddies, and of course we've got these on the way. And so yeah, pretty cool, pretty fun, pretty exciting going forward. Yet we've already seen all this. Here's their FD54 Warthog, and that is Powerglide. Yeah, it's Powerglide. And here he is in his alt mode. And of course we've seen this, but this is like, look at the shiny paint job. I love that. I do like the shiny paint job, and looks pretty good. It works, gets the job done. Here he is talking to a couple of RCs, and RC's little sister, Hasbro. Fans Toys' little sister Hasbro. There it is. And then here we go with the FT55 recorder. Now I want to say on this one I'm a little bit surprised in a pleasant way. I do like that vac metalized chrome look that he's got going on. And of course the shiny red paint that's all over him, and obviously this is all subject to change. It's going to be slightly different when we get it in hand, but that's interesting. I think I'm going to hear a lot of people complain about the vac metalized chrome chest, though. I'm sure that's going to be a complaint for about half the community, and half the community really liking it, but technically it's supposed to be yellow. But that is a cool touch. I kind of like it. At the end of the day, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this one more than Deformation Space. Well, you'll have to get it to find out, right? It's got a lot of faces and two different head options, so that works right there, so you can kind of see all of that. And then here's his boombox mode and his cassette and a bunch of other stuff going on. So looks pretty cool. Pretty much exactly what you expect from Fans Toys. Just like they did with their... oh, you know what? They're not even calling this one Robot Paradise, are they? They're calling this straight up Fans Toys. This is the FT55B, and this is the cassettes, the 3 cassettes. We got the ram horn and the... Is it a rewind or eject? Rewind. And then still jaw. I think these little cassettes they make are great. I think they look good. I think that they're fine. I just kind of like the size and scale of MMC better, so look forward to them. Here we go with a FT57 tube. We've seen this before. Still looks pretty good. Do like seeing the paint, and I think this will be a metallic blue paint, which is a sell for me. So he also has the transformation cog. Is that what that is? He's going to have the Like Toys Metro Davis transformation cog. Here's the alt mode, and alt mode looks pretty good overall. Just kind of what you expect. I mean, I said it, and then people have proved me wrong that this is not just a repaint or even a retool of their Huffer. They say it's completely different, so I'll know when I get it in hand. Toys Easy. I reported on this. I found some pictures, no information on. Here we have more pictures and no information. And I really never really watched any sort of third-party panel, so we're just talking about pictures here. Just talking about pictures, just sitting around talking about pictures. But this is the Toy Easy version of a battleship, and this is bot mode. And I think we got another bot mode picture coming up too. Here's the battleship mode. You sunk my battleship. Well, don't sink this battleship. It looks pretty cool, and it's just one of those things that it's different. It's out there. Either a year ago or a year and a half ago, the one we saw is a different one, or this is the same one and it's more mature in development, possibly. Here's the front and the back. You can see because the upper deck is kind of gray, the lower is red. That's kind of why it had that color breakup like that, and it looks like that on the front and the back. Okay, so this is another Mechanic Studio Dr. Wu remake of the RC. Now they already have the RC that's coming into stock at Show Z right now, so I should be getting that pretty soon. Then we have this one here, which is their version of their take on Elite 1. It's the MS35 Alley, and that's the alt mode. Here is the bot mode, so that does look okay as the Elite 1 on your shelf for Legends. It is the 4-inch Legends. I do believe we've been seeing teasers of this, but for this panel, I thought it'd be a little bit further along, in my opinion. Okay, so moving past the TFCon panel, there's still a lot more stuff we've already seen a lot of already. I didn't really want to dwell on all that. The stuff we've seen a lot of and didn't really look like it was newer pictures. So, looking at this is something for your Lego Optimus Prime. Now, I know that's not a masterpiece or a third party or anything like that, but it's big, and it's real big, so it's not mainline in my opinion. So, anyhow, this is a display case that they're making at the Wicked Brick website, and it's a limited edition display case specifically designed for the popular Lego Optimus Prime. So, interesting look, and it's got a nice background. If you're trying to figure out a way to display it, this might help. Staying in the realm of masterpiece for just a second longer. Okay, so this is the Like Toys Davis, which is their take on a CityBot, a big masterpiece scale 14 CityBot. Now, I just did an update on it yesterday, so I won't talk about it too much, but I do want to say that it's been kind of brought to my attention that there are certain people that are really concerned about whether this is going to make it to market or whether this is all just one giant scam or whatever. So here's what I've got to say about that. Like, there's constant question, like, will this ever get made? Is this going to be just a big hoax? And if it was just a big hoax and a scam, they could have taken pre-orders on this 2 months ago and already run off with your money. So that's one thing that I think about when I think about this project, is they're constantly showing updates, and they could have already taken a bunch of pre-orders, and they haven't yet. They're not taking pre-orders for this yet, and they're constantly working to make it better. So I really have confidence that this team is going to make this happen. So I'm 100% confident in it, and I look forward to it. And so I'm excited about it. I'm going to do anything I can to kind of get this ball rolling. But, you know, it's one of those things that's going to take some time, and they know it, and that's why they're not prematurely taking pre-orders. Okay, so we got a lot of mainline stuff. Going to zip through it real fast, but we do have this Legacy Soundwave. Now, I do want to clear up some stuff on this, and thanks for Chefatron for supplying some pictures of us of this. Now, the left is Siege, the middle is the Legacy that's coming, the right is the Netflix one that almost didn't even show up at Walmart. It barely showed up at Walmart. And the right one is the best one because it has the more G1 accurate look and all of that kind of stuff. But if you look at the other two, I still like the proportions better on the Siege. And so the one that's coming is going to be Siege minus all the extra markup and space mud stuff. So it actually is a pretty decent idea for a release, but I still would have liked it to turn into some sort of a boombox, sort of a Sony Walkman thing. It turns into this, which I don't know what this is. It also has the hidden sort of tower that it turns into. Okay, it turns into a 5G tower, I guess, but I didn't see that. And then here's the, I guess, on-the-fly boombox mode, which still is nowhere near as good as the Netflix one. And the reason you're not getting the Netflix version is because Walmart still has the rights to that for a certain amount of time, and they can't remake that one until that expires. And Walmart's not doing anything with it. They're not ordering any more of that. So we got this thing. So I had to read this title here. It's the Core Class Dark of the Moon Laserbeak. So Pink Bumblebee. I would not have known this was Laserbeak by looking at it. But anyways, Core Class, $10. I guess we're pushing 11 or 12, depending on where you're buying it nowadays. There's also pictures of a Core Class Ratchet. Looks pretty cool overall. I kind of like this guy. Here is the alt mode of this guy. So the little gun there clips on the side, I guess. So pretty cool overall. If you're into this, trying to build a whole entire Legends Hasbro display Core Class 4-inch. It's alright. Got in-package pictures of the Legacy Voyager Dinobot toy deco, and there it is, and open package, all that kind of stuff. So this is another buzzworthy Bumblebee. That means Target exclusive here in the US. Okay, so we've got some pictures. Now, I thought this was going to be like the breaking news of the week, the big news of the week. And I think it's still pretty relevant, and this is the fact that we are getting this Beast Wars Inferno. And oddly enough, I'm more excited about Beast Wars Inferno than I am about the Armada Starscream. but I'm curious. I mean, I think I have 3 Armada vintage ones laying around that I don't even know what I did with them. But I'm curious how well these sell. The Armada Starscream sells. I bet you this Inferno outsells this. But these are what, Voyager? So they're bigger, and these are the $33 price range now, $32, $33 price range. But this thing looks cool. I think that this is a really good choice for a Beast Wars figure. Okay, so looking at these, I hope these animations work, because one of my animations failed in my Friday video. But looking at these, they don't look like they fill the box up all the way. So I think with Inferno, it's because of his legs and all that kind of stuff. But for the scale and the price, they're looking like they're almost deluxe. So I see all that empty space in the box, and it just makes me wonder. And for the sake of time, here are the alt modes side by side, and I think they look good. I think they both look fine, and they go to the roots of it. Again, curious about sales on that Starscream. Will it sell? Are you even interested in it? Now we're getting into a bunch of rumors and leaks and stuff like that. So, good rumors and leaks for this. Studio Series Leader Class Snarl, 86 Snarl, ROTB, Scourge, and Rise of the Beast, Optimus Primal. So looking at all of this, we kind of see what's going to be more or less for the movie, and the good news here is that we're going to get a Snarl in Leader, which tells me that we're probably going to be getting the Swoop in Leader class, and I'm betting you can put this next to all your journal. Write this in your journal next to all the things that you said Tydirium Hanger got wrong. I might get this right. I bet they eventually down the road reissue Grimlock once they finish the team. I think that might happen. Then again, I've been wrong before, so might not. There are a lot of found listings. So there's a listing for a Legacy Voyager class Metal Hawk, which I don't know much about Metal Hawk, but I guess with this picture, it's looking like a pretender. So anyway, that would be cool. That'd be kind of interesting. Also, there's supposed to be a Legacy Leader class Dark Mount. So that's pretty interesting too. That's pretty cool. But it could also just be the placeholder for the Leader Megatron, because there's only so many leaders they're going to make in a year, right? And the 86 core Rumble and Ratchet, I'm curious what this Rumble looks like. If it looks like the one that they've already made, I'm going to be a little disappointed. I think they could do better. I think they could do better. We've already seen pictures. All the pictures I've seen look like the short, stumpy one we've already got, but hopefully it's a little bit better in the future. Okay, so in other news, non-transformer news, we've got this Silverhawks packaging for Ramen Toys. This is their Monstar. Looks super evil and super menacing. Great looking packaging overall, and so I like that. I like how their packaging preview looks. And again, people ask, why does it say Super 7 on it? Because it's officially licensed through Super 7, or sub-license, I guess you could say, through Super 7, and that's awesome. It is an official product. Okay, so again, talking about this Patch Commander, it is the 10th. It's the 10th as you watch this of July, and you have the rest of July to pre-order for $140 to get the Apache Commander with the Rolling Thunder, and it's going to be battery powered, all that kind of stuff. I want this for the simple reason I want to have a more complete collection of vintage Centurions. And seeing as how the last one of these sold for about 5,000, the last prototype that exists on the planet, of the 8 to 10 prototypes that exist, the last one sold for 5,000. I would have mentioned today probably 12 to 15,000 if it was up for auction. And I know that people that bought them a decade ago were paying between 1,000 and 2,000. So 140 doesn't sound so bad, because I don't know anyone else that'd make it, especially not Hasbro wouldn't touch this, because not enough interest. And this is proof right here why Hasbro's not touching Centurions. But anyway, get in on this before the project just goes away. If it doesn't get the backers, it's not going to get made, and so we can kind of kiss anything retro goodbye and just move on to the other like 20 projects that Ramen Toy is going to work on. Jump in on this, and we can all get it. But I pre-ordered 3, so I've done my part. Okay, so this is kind of funny, because I think it was Wednesday night that Instagram... I started hearing about Instagram. I don't really check Instagram or do much on Instagram, but I had to kind of check it out just to see. But there was this picture of Cobra Commander, and they were talking about revealing the 4th tier and all that kind of stuff, and they had a little fun with it. So I made a video because I really felt like we were going to get a retro Cobra Commander. And what did we get? A retro Cobra Commander. And so it's like right on par with what I thought. But I actually thought we'd get a back metallized faceplate. But instead of that being what kind of differentiates it from the mainline release, this is the Mickey Mouse symbol differentiation. But you get all these accessories in there with the hands and all that kind of stuff. The dagger, and you get the snake with the world around it, and then you get his backpack and his traditional type of retro gun. But here's the thing. I made that video on Thursday. They made this announcement like 3 or 4 hours after I uploaded my video. So that's kind of crazy. So I really haven't had time to chime in on this just yet. So when I want to chime in on it and say, good job, Hasbro. So a little bit more Joe news. We're getting this wave with the Storm Shadow, the Officer, and the Spirit. Now I got my Spirit and my Storm Shadow, and one of my Storm Shadows had a dented up box, so I don't even know if I should even bother reviewing this. There's going to be 800 reviews out there, and an action figure review is so much easier than a Transformer review. It'd be like an 8-minute review. But anyway, the bottom line to this is that this stuff is starting to show up, and start checking where you pre-ordered and all that kind of stuff. But I pre-ordered this one specifically at 5 different places, and the only place that shipped it so far is Amazon. I hear Pulse is shipped. But looking at prices, all of that wave on Amazon is pushing $50 because they're sold out, and now it's the third-party vendors, and more than likely it's the third-party vendors selling it on Amazon that bought the rest of the stock anyway. But looking at this, the heavy-duty roadblock is heavy artillery is back in stock at $25. The original sale price was $20. $25 is not bad for this guy. This is a very classic, probably the best we're going to get for some time of Roadblock, and $25. I'll have a link down below. So we've got some TMNT news this week. This is NECA, and whenever I go to the electronics section in Target, I actually call it NOCA because it doesn't exist. It's never there. But anyway, this is the Casey Jones. You can pre-order this through BBTS and all those online places, Entertainment Earth and all that. I got mine through BBTS on pre-order, so I can actually get it. But instead of paying $200 for the first version, this is the second version that come out. It looks okay to me. It is a Toon version, and I'm fine with it. $35 or $37 is way better than $200, and you get all this stuff with it, and it looks pretty good, and it fits the Toon. I'm not a big fan of that face sculpt, but it is what it is. Then there's also this Krang, and the picture I snapped says pre-order. Okay, cool. But this is, I don't really know anything about this Android Krang. This is another robot Krang or something like that. So I'm sure this is somewhere in the mythos that I'm not super heavily deep into Turtles. Once you get past the first like 20 characters, I don't know a whole lot about it. So with it, I'm happy with just getting the more common popular characters, and then hopefully those that are super deep into it get what they want. But I don't know how deep they can go and still do full production runs. Okay, so Super 7 is doing this mutagen glow in the dark. I don't know much about it. I think you have to go to Super 7's site and pre-order straight through them. $65 each. Yes, I said it right. $65 each. It's crazy. Anyhow, I do think they look pretty cool, but you know, with 11 different toy lines simply for Turtles, I got to draw the line somewhere, and I stopped at Super 7. They are the highest price point, and they look okay, but they are the highest price point, and it's only getting higher. But these are cool. I think this is really cool. Glow in the dark, and I actually didn't care about glow in the dark so much as a kid, but nowadays I think it's kind of cool, very fun, very retro, brings a lot of memories back. Last bit of Turtle information that I found is this Stranger Things combo for Playmates. So Playmates is doing the Karate Kid right now. They're in the stores, the Karate Kid and the Turtles, the lineup. Then we're going to be getting Street Fighter, which is cool. Which I don't know if we're only just going to get 2 figures from Street Fighter. I would love to get an entire series of Street Fighter. But anyway, then they're doing the Stranger Things. So it's sort of, I guess, the fact that they're using this as a loophole. I think what this is truly a loophole to pretty much make whatever else they want to pack in with it. And these are okay. I actually think these figures look better than what we're getting in the Walmart shelves for Stranger Things. Those look okay. but there's just something weird about those Stranger Things ones that I'm seeing at Walmart right now. These look pretty good. Okay, so I did a screen capture earlier this evening of the Riva lightsaber. Nobody wants this thing. 1,353 backers of about 2 million collectors. So nobody really wants this thing. So it's got, and by the time you watch this, it's like a day and a half left, and $500 is too much. There's no unlocked tiers. They're going to throw in a stand. Wow, how nice of you to throw in a $2 or $3 stand for a $500 lightsaber that should cost $300. But anyhow, I wasn't in on it from day one. I was confused why they were doing it. I think the Star Wars team is confused why they're still making Star Wars, but this was a bad idea from the get-go. I'm not shocked that it's failing, and I won't be shocked when it fails, but at least Cookie Monster can play with this, and he can trade it with the Rancor. Wait, does a Cookie Monster know how to share? So we got pictures of the Vintage Collection Rescue Set, and this is a convention exclusive. In-Demand Toys has posted this, and it features a Dark Trooper, Mandalorian, Grogu, and Moff Gideon. So kind of interesting right there. Vintage Collection. Don't have the price just yet, but I imagine 50 is the minimum to get in on this. 100 wouldn't surprise me at this point. People say I'm negative, but I laugh because I'm so baffled at prices these days, especially when you look at this as like, okay, this is like $35 worth of stuff. And it's going to be at least 50, but anyway, here is the other side of it, or inside, or maybe taken out of the box or whatever. And you can see what all you get, and it's kind of cool. It's a nice little diorama. I don't know if you would just put this on your shelf as a diorama. Would you include anything else in this? Is this something you'd use as a background? Would this be a shelf that you could put 6 or 7 other figures with? I don't know. I really don't know what the intent is, other than having this just look good in the packaging. And of course, I don't open everything, or I don't open but like 10 to 15% of the stuff, so I guess I do appreciate a nice packaging. And this is the hottest story of Star Wars. Before I get into this, I do want to say that it just seems like Star Wars, there's just nothing going on, or very, very little Star Wars going on. You see how much Transformer stuff is going on, and how little Star Wars stuff is going on. It just kind of blows my mind. You'd think it'd be flip-flop, reversed, but anyway, getting into this, this is how this Boba Fett's showing up. I think it was $27 or some, $27.99 or some weird price for a $10 vintage collection figure, or $12 vintage collection figure, $12.99 vintage collection figure. So it's super expensive, and it arrives with a warped looking face with bad paint apps. That's not it. And then multiple different people submitting multiple different pictures of broken figures right out of the package. Now, I will say maybe it's staged. Maybe people are frustrated enough that they're ripping their own leg off and just starting this trend. If that's happening, that just shows people are frustrated about the packaging. I mean, either way, people are frustrated with the packaging. Here goes another one. Both legs missing or falling off. Lucky for you, though, if you don't open your stuff, you'll never know how jacked up this product is inside this box. All you'll do is look at your picture, right? Here is another one. Okay. I mean, somehow I'm just thinking these are all truly legitimately different people having the same exact problem, but crazy. I didn't order this thing. I thought the price was so astronomical that I couldn't believe it, so I just left it, and it doesn't look like you're getting more than your $12.99 vintage collection. And I don't know what this is. Like the whole chest, the shoulders got removed from it. I'm not sure about that. There's so much wrong with this. I believe Hasbro's going to course correct, and we're going to go back to traditional packaging, because these massive problems already at the very first stage, the absolute very first figure having more problems than any other figure they've manufactured is insane. Just insane, if you ask me. But anyway, that's kind of crazy. And then we've got this one here. So I don't know. This is just one of those things. The packaging situation continues to go For me, though, I'm just passing it. I'm completely skipping these because of the packaging and the price. So for me, I'm going to be sitting on the sidelines watching this, and part of me is saying, I'm glad I didn't order it. But the other part of me is saying that I know how these people have to feel when they open it and are so ultra disappointed. Just, words can't even explain it. So what do you think about this week's weekly news in review? There's so much to talk about. I actually skipped over, I think I said 7 to 10 items. I will revisit next week if we get a little bit more. I think we'll get more information on the items that I skipped for next week. But so much going on, so much out there. Really excited to be collecting toys in 2022. And 2023 looks pretty exciting for G.I. Joe. Like and subscribe. Teddy Hanger out.